Hi, my name is Melissa Moore, and I'm the Low Country Manager for Women's Rights and Empowerment Network. You might hear my dog Buttercup in the background, so please excuse me. I have a background in working with Southern grassroots organizations that serve LGBTQ plus folks in the South, especially in South Carolina. And I'm here to talk about how the COVID-19 pandemic is having a disproportionate impact on LGBTQ communities and other marginalized groups, and how our leaders are really falling short of serving all the people. We should be able to expect our so-called leaders to make sure that relief programs don't leave anyone behind, but sadly that's not the case. Recently, several members of Congress opposed a bill that provided for medical leave, free COVID-19 testing, and increased unemployment insurance, in part because it included LGBTQ plus families in their definition of what a committed relationship is. The bill talked about people who share responsibility for their common welfare, including same-sex couples, people in civil unions, or even domestic partnerships. It also made sure that families were able to access protections for all their children. That included foster children, adopted children, stepchildren, or the children of domestic partners. Family protection and making sure that people can take time off to care for their kids should be the family values that we uplift. What makes this even worse is that similar language has already been included in several other bills dating as far back as 2015. So this is not unique or new. Neither is it new that some lawmakers put homophobia before the health and well-being of their constituents, but doing so during a global pandemic is a new low. Let's be real. The fact that people of color are being negatively impacted by this pandemic and that undocumented people are being left out of relief efforts is just plain awful and wrong. We need to make sure that our so-called leaders do not allow bigotry to take away much-needed support or make it impossible to get testing and treatment for coronavirus. It's disgusting that we even have to worry about politics right now, or that politics would come before meeting the needs of our communities. So I'm going to share a few resources to hopefully help my community in these times. The Equality Federation has a list of resources to help LGBTQ plus organizations and advocates. The online LGBTQ community platform has published a guide on how LGBTQ people can get help and resources during coronavirus, and it includes information about services through LGBTQ health centers, mental health hotlines, and virtual community gatherings. The Transgender Legal Defense Fund, an education fund, has a Know Your Rights guide for transgender and non-binary people around care during this health crisis. It's available in both English and Spanish. And finally, SAGE's National Resource Center on LGBTQ aging has tips and resources for LGBTQ elders and those living with HIV. So please rally together to demand that any policy or program that is supposed to help people in this difficult time comes from a place of public health, not discrimination, and not a dangerous agenda that leaves some of us behind.